Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Media Buff Podcast, the show about anything and everything media related. I'm your host, Ed, and today's episode we have a full house plus an extra. Matt, Lane, my wife Jen, and our prodigal son Omar are here. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
And
how's it going? We doing good? You drinking water? It's getting cold out right now. Be sure to buckle up.
and we also have a special guest today, our number one fan, Mr. Jan.
What's happening?
What's happening, Jan?
What's
Welcome to the show.
happening?
Long time listener, first time caller.
You guys need free merch to give to me.
Yeah,
I'll-
probably.
You don't even. I'll give you some stuff right now. Buddy.
Shit. Yeah, we could just make some shirts, some stickers.
Yeah, you already.
A
I'd
coaster.
wear 'em. I'd wear them, but I live in a town of less than 5,000 people, so
Oh my goodness.
I'll
Hey,
still wear them. I'll wear them.
Wow.
hey, 5,000 people fans. That's enough. That's more than what we have right now.
That's true. That's that's
Well,
4,998 more than we.
Exactly.
Wow.
Any-
like it too.
Self
Hey,
They'll give
deprecating
you the
humor.
free merch for like $2.99.
There you go. It's free 99.
We'll give them the free
so-
merch for a bottle of baby oil.
Oh no!
Okay, P Diddy.
None of that on this show. None of that.
Shame on you.
None of that. Shame. Anywho, this is gonna be our second to last episode. We're gonna be taking the holiday season off because I feel like we kind of deserve it. But
Do we though?
yeah. So with that being said, for this episode, we're gonna do one last movie review, which is Deadpool. I know that's been quite a long time coming, and everybody's already done it, but we haven't done it. So here's our rendition of it. So strap in and listen up. And as always, check out Maono for your microphone needs. Use code MediaBuff to get 10% off. So. Well, anybody want to do a quick synopsis of the movie, or just want to just jump in on everything you guys loved? Of it.
A quick synopsis would be ideal.
Okay,
All right. John, give us a
Hey.
synopsis.
you want to do it, John? You want to do it? You want to go for
Come
it?
on, you special guest speaker.
Well-
Fucking talk.
All right.
Jesus
Take it
fucking
easy.
Christ, man.
Take it
Cool your
easy.
fucking jets.
Deadpool gets acquired by the TVA after his time travel shenanigans, and they offer to essentially sign him over to Disney, but he has to kill everyone he loves. And yeah, he's looking for why was he looking for a Wolverine? Because it was
Because
like the best-
Wolverine was the
Anchor.
focal point of his
Yeah.
universe. So it's
Yeah,
like
he was their anchor person of
Yeah.
their universe, of his universe.
and
and
he gets what they call like the worst Wolverine, which I mean that's up for debate.
Mhm.
But
He got Universe 616.
Mhm.
yeah, and they
Some-
get what are those? The things that TVA has, the sticks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
say it, Logan.
motherfuckers.
that destroy
Yeah, but-
universe.
Well, they get sent to that like nether realm or something where everything they get purged. Like that's the word I'm
Mhm.
looking for.
Yeah,
The-
the
With a
Virgin-
bunch of
they
other,
go to the void.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other Marvel characters from previous movies that don't really like kind of exist anymore. And I don't know. It's the movie's fucking hilarious.
Meh.
Well, I mean, I don't want to spoil the whole thing.
No, we're gonna
it's-
spoil it. By the
Yes.
way, this is your first spoiler warning. Although,
I
if
mean,
you haven't
it's
seen
been-
this movie by now, there's something wrong with you because it's on streaming at this point. And
Plus, people could have pirated it a long time ago anyway.
yeah, it's on Disney Plus, and on top of that, yeah, pirating.
It's still a
That's,
thing.
that's still a thing. You can't get rid of. The pirates.
Arg.
Alright.
Lick my butthole.
Shh. You want me to
well,
shiver
if-
your timbers, Matthew?
Oh, yes. Please,
They-
Daddy. Please.
Oh my god. Let him finish the damn synopsis.
It's gonna be a long.
It is
Well,
gonna
they-
be long.
They find out that this void is ran by it's Charles Xavier's sister from some universe. She's basically Tina Turner in Bartertown, except she can rip your skin off with psychic powers.
Cassandra Nova.
Yeah,
Cassandra
that's a
Nova.
fucking deep cut reference right there.
That was her
Yeah.
name. But
But good reference, Josh.
Yeah.
Good reference.
but that's
little Mad
essentially That's
Yeah.
essentially the plot. Deadpool wants to be able to save his universe so he doesn't have the people he loves die. And he lies to Wolverine and says he may or may not be able to fix his universe, which turns out to be bullshit.
Duh.
And
Made a calculated wish.
a calculated wish, yes.
That is true. Yeah, that's one of the lines.
It was his
Um,
birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool and Wolverine fight a bunch of times. There's a bunch of hilarious jokes. People die in very brutal, intense ways. That's essentially the movie. There's lots of cameos, people that
Oh, yeah.
from old
can't-
movies. You know,
But you can't forget the main part of the movie.
what am I forgetting?
He finally used NSYNC in the song or in the movie.
Yeah, like the
Was he
movie
like
starts
not
with
allowed
him.
to?
The
No, I
movie
think it was
starts with him just dancing to them.
it was a reference to
Yeah.
the previous movie where Celine
Mhm.
Dion, or was it Celine Dion?
It was Celine
I
Dion.
think so.
Yeah, and then Deadpool's like, I'm gonna use NSYNC next time. And
Yeah,
then he ended up using
Mhm.
NSYNC. And
he literally did. Yeah,
Mm.
it was the end credits of Deadpool too.
some
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
It was
yeah.
in the beginning intro.
Yes.
Oh, it was in the
Yeah,
beginning.
it's
you're
at the
right,
very
yeah.
beginning when it starts.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, like I said, folks, definitely check it out. It's on Disney Plus, or pirate or whatever is your prerogative. So going around, like, what was your guys' thoughts on the movie? Like, John, why don't you go? So why don't you go first? Since you're the
Okay,
guest.
looking at all three movies as like a trilogy, I thought the first one was really good. The second one is great, but like kind of not as good. But I feel like this one kind of brought it back. I thought it was really good. The good Marvel shit, like the really good Marvel shit, has been few and farther between. But when they do come out, it felt like it was on the same level as like what was that Spider-Man one, No Way Home?
No Way Home? Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
Or
like there's
Far
a
From Home. Far From Home.
was it?
No,
The
Far
third
From
one.
Home. Far From Home is
The
when
third
they
one.
went to Europe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No Way
Oh,
Home.
you're right. Yeah.
No
Yeah,
Way
yeah.
Home is with all the other with the
Yeah.
time
Yes.
shenanigans and universe shenanigans.
Like I'm watching all of the Marvel shit as it comes out. I've watched all the series and stuff, and I like all the stuff, but like the really, really good stuff, like on par with that or Captain America Winter Soldier, the shit that's like to be really excited about. There's been less and less of it, but I feel like this is one of those. So I really enjoyed it, and I'll probably watch it again multiple times.
What about you, Matt? What'd you think of it?
Well, I really liked it because I'll agree with John. It was like the first one being really good, right? Like when it first came out, didn't know you kind of know what to expect, but you didn't think it would be that fucking good, and it was. And the second one, although I would kind of disagree, I think like the second one is still like out of the trilogy is my favorite one, just because Josh Brolin did an excellent job as Cable, and
Yeah, he
like the
did
whole
Yes, he did.
and like the whole storyline with that was just really good.
Man, don't forget
And
X Force.
yeah, and X Force and fucking Brad Pitt had a
The,
cameo. For
yeah,
a
the
split
cameo.
Second cameo. I just love the fact that he actually went for that. That was actually him.
Yeah, I should. I mean, but like, I just feel like Deadpool 2, like that one is probably my favorite out of the three. But that's not to say that Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't good because it's really fucking good. And to like see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, which they're
Mhm.
best friends in real life, share the screen together was really cool. And like they had great chemistry the whole time, and like the cameos were fucking good too.
Mm.
And like one cameo is Elektra, and that is the best that like Jennifer Garner has done in any of the movies with Elektra.
Shots fired.
Like,
I was
mean,
wondering who's gonna rag on her
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
like okay, like the Daredevil movie, like Ben Affleck, he was okay.
Meh.
Michael Clark Duncan was great as
Yes, he
Kingpin.
was.
That's like
We-
the only good
Fisk. He's
part
good as
about the
Fisk.
movie. It was Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin.
I don't know. I
Other
like
than
Colin Farrell as
Bullseye?
Bullseye.
that,
Got a
he was
bullseye
kinda-
in his forehead.
Yeah, it's
Like,
oh,
Farrell.
like,
Hey, you.
it-
Colin Farrell. Last time my wife
It
and
won
I
a
And then
Oscar.
like
They said
God,
you
but
were in a very good
Jennifer
actor.
Garner's like she wasn't that good. But then in her solo movie, that was just fucking trash.
Well, you're kind of getting off track. Like, finish your thought about the movie.
It
Get it
is.
together.
It's good. It's good. It's really good. Go watch it. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna laugh your ass off. All right.
Okay. What about you, Omar? What's your thoughts?
Uh, to put it plainly, I feel like Deadpool 3 was more like in fan service.
Mm-hmm.
It no, wasn't necessarily like an actual great movie
Yes.
in terms of like what Marvel has been dishing out. Like going back to what John said, one of the best Marvel movies that they released was Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
show of
definitely.
the Winter Soldier was good too.
Eh,
You didn't
Yeah.
like it? I liked it.
no, not so much, no. But with
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, it was too buddy cop movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was like I could have just watched fucking Lethal Weapon and I would have been had the same effect. It was a cash, not necessarily a cash grab, but it was more fan service because it was
Mhm.
everything
Mhm.
that the fans wanted, especially
Well, the
the
fans have been clamoring for it for a while now.
yeah, and then especially with the cameo with Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
funny. Yeah.
that was
That
funny.
was completely unexpected, but it was hilarious
Mhm.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, yeah, it was just overrated. Like it was
Mhm.
good. Like the actions were amazing. Obviously,
The sequence, yeah.
the action sequences,
Action
cinematography, especially the fights between Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mhm.
We finally got to see freaking Hugh Jackman wear the traditional Wolverine
It only
outfit.
took like 15 movies and
Yeah.
Like
30
what
years.
was it? 30 years or 20 years?
No, 20
20.
years. Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
But
it's funny, I think.
the
Hey,
mat
hey,
like
hey, you people actually go out in these things? What do you
what do you
prefer?
expect?
Yellow
Yellow
spandex?
spandex. The funny
Yes.
thing is that freaking the X-Men 97 TV series,
Mhm.
they made a knock of
Yep.
that.
Yeah, they did a nod to that. Yeah.
I fucking love that. But yeah, for me, I've actually just would watch it again just to see those previous Marvel cameos.
Mhm.
My favorite being freaking Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because Blade was probably one of the first movies in the Marvel universe, or it
Yeah.
wasn't
A
part
lot
of the
of people
Marvels.
a lot of people don't realize that or
Yes.
forget about that.
I know that they had the '80s Punisher and
Mhm.
Captain America movie and whatever like that,
Yeah.
but those were very '80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very yeah, it's just very
Super
80s.
80s.
The first like Marvel movie that could be taken seriously, in my opinion, I think is Blade.
Mhm.
And you just can't beat that fucking intro scene.
Not just that, the movie,
Yes.
the
yeah,
movie
the blood
slaps all
rave.
around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, overrated. It was a fun popcorn film, but
Mhm.
it's not in my top.
Mhm.
Mhm. What about you, Jen? What was your thought on the movie?
I agree with Omar as far as like it was too hyped up. It's not I for my taste it's not theater worthy. Like I waited for it to come out on streaming because I mean I didn't feel I think for me personally I
Mhm.
didn't feel like it was theater worthy. Um there was fun quips here and there, but Deadpool
but to make
for
a
me
name for
Deadpool has become an annoying character. So
well, that's his role.
I know exactly that's what he's supposed to be, but it's too much, like for me personally.
You mean you like
But
Booster Gold?
yeah,
I'll take
but
Booster Gold though.
but you
I'll
can
take
see I
Booster
have to
Gold.
take them in like doses, and Booster
Yeah.
Gold is it's different. Um,
I don't think I would get tired of Booster
I
Gold.
know, me neither. It's just I guess there's different levels of annoyance.
Yeah,
there
that's
really
true.
is.
That is true.
But no, I did. I think the highlights of the movie were uh the fact that Hugh Jackman finally said "bub" more.
Yeah.
That was because when you
He
see
probably only I think he only said it like once or twice throughout
yeah,
the entire
exactly,
X-Men
right. In the first
franchise.
movie, he only even said it like what once, probably that I remember. I think,
Mhm.
and
He
like
wanted
because
to
yeah,
say
that's
it
I
more, I
remember.
think, but they wouldn't let him. I think that was the whole story behind it.
Mhm.
But see that when you
Well,
grow up like with the animated series, you're expected,
Yeah.
Well, it was his
Yeah.
catchphrase too. Like his
Yeah,
main
exactly.
Bub.
And I was like, man, why did they let they
Let's
should have
go,
let him
Bub.
said Bob more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that he finally did that. The bringing back the costume, the original costume.
Hell yeah.
Just overall the acting, his Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Oh, I like the. Believe it or not, I was on the fence about Channing Tatum's
Remy.
Remy.
I'm
Freaking
about to make a
Gambit.
name for myself.
But
I fucking love that.
Oh, I loved it too.
I actually ended up enjoying it after I got over, because I'm a fan of
Gambit.
freaking Gambit. But when I started seeing the action sequence of him using his staff and his cards,
Mhm.
that's when I really,
Yes.
really, really liked it.
Especially if you see the behind the scenes videos that they post on Instagram and whatnot, you see Channing just like going all out, being dedicated to the fighting choreography.
Exactly.
Well, that's actually
That's
a role he's
exactly
been
why I
wanting to
like
play
it.
for a while.
That kind of
Yeah.
won me over when I was on the fence. That won me him watching him do the sequence. I mean, the accent was a little over the top.
I think he did that on
Yeah,
purpose.
I know. I
though.
think
Yeah.
it was for funny purposes.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, now that I get it, like it's probably more for the fun. But
I wish he had
so
said share at
yeah,
least one.
he did.
Oh,
He
he did?
did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He said Mon Ami also.
He did say mon ami.
And
Yeah,
but
'cause
so that's what I enjoyed. And I also what do you call it? I was talking to Ed about it that like I like the fact that like we were thinking like if they would have done a movie about Remy if Channing was younger,
Mhm.
he probably would have fit it better.
Yeah, 10, 15 years too late. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he can still pull it off now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking about like if he actually took the accent seriously and actually
Mhm.
blended it. Or
Like
Well, I'm
no,
pretty-
like if he had time to actually
Yeah.
prepare for the role, because it looks like he like literally just they told him like, hey, guess what? You're being cast as Gambit. You got 2 weeks before we start shooting. So he
Mhm.
just like cobbled together the best that he could, and this is what we
Well,
got.
his dad was Cajun, so he's
Mhm.
familiar with what it sounds like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were like aside from the music, all the music that was used, all the 90s, 80s music that was used.
You
How
I will
much
say
age is
this:
this?
I would have never considered that Madonna song as a good action song.
Oh yeah,
For
I
some
know,
reason,
right?
I never considered that. And then when they saw it in that movie,
Mhm.
and then they started using it a lot on online, like, okay, I think I could use it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Dude,
Those
I
movies are
think
good like that.
Yeah.
yeah. This movie definitely revitalized a lot of older songs.
hmm
They all did. All three of them,
Mhm.
I'd say.
Yeah, and
There's a-
another like thing that I didn't really enjoy about the movie was the story. It wasn't too engaging for me, like.
Yeah, it was very typical of multiversal stuff.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. What about you, Lane? What was your take on the film?
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything. It had its funny moments. I just feel like it really fell short in some stories. Um, and it was just confusing, like why it even continued, I guess. Like the Cassandra Nova story was interesting in the beginning, but then she's like, I'm gonna destroy the universes. Like,
Why?
I don't know. I just got bored.
No,
I was
that's
just
what
like,
you
what?
ask. That's what you ask. You're like, why though?
Exactly.
Yeah, what's the purpose of even doing it?
Mm-hmm.
You just bragged about like love the void and that's your home and whatever. And
And now you can destroy everything.
Yeah.
no, yeah, exactly. Like it just didn't make any
She
sense.
was going to
Yeah,
destroy
it didn't.
everything
Because
but
she's
the void.
crazy. It's because she's crazy. That's why they
Mhm.
locked her up. She's
Yeah.
psycho.
Yeah,
She
but
is
that's
like-
too much. That's a cop out of an excuse, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a very strong ending of a storyline for her.
Mhm.
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that she's right, isn't she? Die at the end.
Say that again, Lane.
You're cutting out.
She's dead,
Yeah.
right?
dead.
Supposedly.
Mhm.
I
So
mean,
it's
you
just
can
like-
make the argument she's dead, but her
Mhm.
conscience lives on because technically Xavier can do that too.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
They're level,
like,
they're Omega level mutants.
but yeah, that's like I don't know, just seems so stupid.
Mhm.
Like they just
yeah, there's no
introduced her,
real ending
made her
to
seem
it.
like she was gonna be real cool. Kind of
Yes.
was while
Yes.
she was in the
At the
void, and
beginning.
as soon as she got out of the void, they're just like, oh, do with her.
Yeah, it's just like it feels like they didn't know what to do with her,
And they didn't want to get
Yeah.
rid of her.
and they didn't know how to get rid of her like in a better way, so they just
Yeah, like if she just would have stayed in that void,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
she could have still sent that whole army of Deadpool, and they
That's
could have
true.
still had that whole Deadpool fighting scene, and then they
Mhm.
could have still gone to the thing to try to
Save the
Paradox or whatever the
universes.
fuck
Mhm.
his name is, and she could just stayed over there, and
Mhm.
they could have used her for something else maybe later on if they
Yeah,
Yes.
wanted
another
to.
film or
Mhm.
a series.
But now she's just fuck. I was like, okay, that's pretty weak.
Mhm.
Mhm. She was the weekend
And
villain.
yeah, and
It's
I
like
just
the
felt like
Power
this.
Rangers when you get a weekly villain.
Yeah. Well, it's like
And then
Villain of
gets
the week,
immediately
yep.
it's like
destroyed.
it's like you like, oh, she's a really powerful mutant, and
No,
like, what happened to that?
If she's so
Yeah,
powerful, how come she only lasted one movie?
It's
exactly.
yeah, so cool,
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, and then that was pretty much my major like qualm with it, where I thought it was weird.
Mhm.
But I thought the rest of it was pretty funny. It's a funny, entertaining movie.
Hmm.
Like the best out of the Deadpool movies, definitely not.
Mhm.
The
No.
Hugh Jackman movies were great,
Mhm.
but it's like you guys are saying, it's definitely like they just gave everything they wanted to see.
Hmm.
Um,
The fans.
I
Yeah.
think maybe my favorite part of the everything was just most of the cameos and characters that they were.
Mhm.
Yep.
Thought those were the most funniest parts. Like I said, the story was kind of like meh,
Mhm.
but it was
Yeah.
like entertaining.
Yes.
There's only
I
one
did
blade.
like
Mhm.
right. Blade was great.
Yes.
Electra
Hell
was
yeah.
great. I even fucking loved Chris Evans as Johnny
Oh
Storm
yeah.
because
That was like the
those
best fucking.
part that was so fucking good too. And of course I really loved fucking Channing Tatum as
Yeah.
fucking Gambit. I loved it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like having X-23 there was kind of just like, oh, okay. Yeah,
I
we
like
had to
that they
have her
used the
come
same actress
back.
for her though. That was
That's
cool.
Yeah.
good. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good like
Um,
cap end for the
I love
Logan
that.
movie,
Yeah.
which
You
I
know,
still haven't
yeah.
seen.
you know what?
Yeah.
What else I just remember that was also good?
Hmm.
That they brought
Hmm.
in the original Sabretooth from X-Men 1.
The
Oh
actor.
yeah, that's right. I
And
forgot about that.
Toad.
Toad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Azazel was in there too. The original actors who played them were in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really liked a lot of
Mhm.
the cameos because it was actually some of like the original
Yeah.
Mhm.
characters that were from the movies and stuff. It was
Mhm.
it wasn't bad in terms of the cameos. I liked all of those.
Mhm.
It was just
Yeah.
mainly the story
Yeah.
and how it was just like a very like the whole
Anticlimactic kind of.
yeah. It just didn't really go anywhere and then
Yes.
the
It,
a happy ending. Tra la la
you
la la.
Yeah.
Like
you know what made me feel like if I was watching another version of Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. That was barely a fucking multiverse movie. We only had like one main segment of the multiverse and those
Yes.
cameos from all the other
Yeah.
characters.
And it was just, yeah.
They all
Yeah.
died immediately.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Every single one of them died immediately.
Well,
Right.
isn't there a part at the end of the credits that it shows them that they're still alive though?
No.
Is there?
No.
I
I
don't
could have
remember.
sworn
I
there
don't.
was.
I
I'll have
could
to
be
watch
wrong. I was like, oh, cool. Professor X is. Oh shit.
it. Dead. I mean, yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was that part of that movie for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I thought it was
mean,
okay. It was entertaining when it needed to be, but the
Yes.
story was very like sidetracked for all
Mhm.
like these fun cameo things they were gonna pull in. Like I feel like that was like Brown when it's like, oh my god, Brown, I'm gonna find his
Mhm.
focus to come back in this movie. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And like we gotta figure out some kind of a story or something like.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's like they focus more on the cameos than the actual
Yeah,
plot.
I felt like it
Which
was
is
centered more
fine.
on- and it felt like
Yeah, definitely for sure.
it went like
Yeah,
it was
that's what
just
I
side
thought.
questing.
Yeah,
it's basically that you're playing the video game and you keep getting distracted by the side quests.
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't horrible. Like my
No.
personal thing is like, I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of Deadpool that much. I don't hate him. He's just not one of my favorite characters in the Marvel universe. I did like the first one. The first Deadpool was really funny,
Mhm.
especially the dumb little quips he does here and there. But I feel like in this one, Ryan just like really amped it up, and half the time I'm like, dude, shut up. The entire time I was just telling myself like, and I could see Logan, and I'm like, dude, I'm right there with you, man. Like this guy needs to shut up.
I get to
Well,
kill
they do call him the
100%
Merc
of
with the
this.
mouth.
I think
I
that was
know, dude, but
intentional.
like even in the other two, he was even though he was very, murky,
Mhm.
it's still like the way his dialogue was still very on point, reminiscent to the story and to what
Mhm.
he was doing. And this one, he was just like saying dumb quip here and left and right. It felt like a Family Guy episode where they just kept doing different callbacks to different clips and
Mhm.
dumb stuff like that. And the entire time, I'm like, Ryan, you need to retire already, man. It's like I'm not a huge fan of Ryan Reynolds. Like I like him in a lot of his older films, like Waiting, Just Friends.
Yes, yes.
What's the one?
The Proposal with
The
Sandra
Proposal,
Bullock.
yeah. But in this one, dude, I feel like even though he's like the
Voices.
Deadpool, like I don't see anybody playing Deadpool until he dies or until Ryan Reynolds himself is too old to play him. Uh, but I feel like this one he just like amp it up to 15. I'm like the entire time like this guy needs to shut up. I wish he could die because then I would probably be spending my time trying to kill him the entire time as well.
Hey, but you can't hate on Nice Pool.
Nice.
Dice
Oh
Pool
my
was
I
god.
hilarious,
know.
dude.
He
I
was
loved him.
so
And the
great.
fact that he's like, they're asking him like, so how long does it take you to regenerate?
Regenerate.
That was one of my favorite scenes. And then this asshole just stealing his guns from.
Not even just that, he sold his fucking dog.
Yes.
Yep.
They became Papa.
I know he's like trying to run away with her. He's like, no, we're running away. Like there was a couple of scenes that made me laugh, but I felt like I was mostly chuckling the entire time, and then half the time I was like, "Oh my God, Ryan, just shut up." And the
Yeah.
whole thing with Logan and his universe, why I went to crap. I was trying to figure out which comic book that kind of centers around, and it made me think of the video game. I don't know, guys, if you guys ever played the video game of Wolverine that came out on like PS3 and the Xbox. The
Yeah.
one where
No.
Yeah.
basically everything's gone to hell and he's the only one left standing. He basically has to fix everything because it's Wolverine. So,
He's lived too long.
yeah, he's lived long. But as I was reading the synopsis and what it ties to, it just felt like it was a little out of place for that particular Wolverine, and I felt like they could have used a sadder Wolverine. I did like all the Wolverines that were showing, especially
Oh
the
man,
the
me too.
the height appropriate one that's
Oh yeah.
5'3", because a lot of people don't realize that Wolverine is really short and
Yeah,
he's
he's like
and he
5'3".
hunches because he's like 300 pounds. He's all that metal's really heavy. And then you
Yep.
have the Uncanny X-Men one with him on the X Cross, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then you have the Savage Wolverine. Oh, and the Patch Wolverine, which is like a secret agent in this one, I guess.
hmm
Yeah, those were definitely fun.
And
Those,
then the
those were-
brown suit. They had him in the brown
when he
suit.
fights
Yeah,
the Hulk.
fighting the
Yeah,
Hulk.
I like the
Mhm.
fact that even though they don't show him indirectly, you can see the reflection on his claws.
Yep. I thought
Yeah,
those
but
were all really fun.
I mean, it wasn't a horror film. I can't say that it's a horror film. I won't watch it again unless, like, I mean, I don't think I'll let the kids watch it. But
No.
like, if we ever get together and we want a movie to watch that, like, will probably make us laugh here and there, well, we could probably put that on. And
We'd probably go with something else.
I mean,
Something
I
more,
would go with
something more
Blade.
entertaining.
Yes, Blade.
I just hear a bunch of fucking haters.
Mom's a hater.
We're not
Agreed.
hating. We're not hating.
No,
Like,
I
trust
didn't
me,
think
if we
it's
were hating,
bad.
we would hate on it. I would point out every little detail that I hated about the film. But I
That's
didn't
what it
hate the
sounds
film.
like you're doing.
I should
No,
have
I'm
asked.
just pointing out the fact that
We gave highlights of the good
it
stuff
wasn't as good as
that
that
we thought
because
was good.
the fact that everybody's like, oh, best
Yeah.
Deadpool film, best Marvel film. No, dude, come
Mm-mm.
on.
I don't
I
think it was the best one. No,
No,
way.
definitely not.
Not
You
for
know,
Deadpool.
Mhm.
I don't know. I still think the best Marvel film is
Iron Man.
no. I think it's either a tie
Iron
between
Man.
Infinity
It's
War
not
or
Iron Man.
No, it's
It's what you call it, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. It's definitely Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That one's great. It feels
Well,
like
it's-
a comic book
Hmm.
movie.
It actually
Whereas the
did. It
rest
was
of
one of the things that
these-
stuck true to the
Whereas
comics.
the
so.
rest of these just feel very much Hollywood
Yes, that.
taking inspiration from
Mhm.
comic books, even though I know like the whole Civil War thing did happen, but
I
like
actually
like-
did also like Captain America: The First Avenger. That one was actually pretty good. The one
it
before
wasn't
Winter Soldier.
bad, but I think the second one was way better.
No, the second one was way
Yes,
better,
oh,
but the first
but
one was
yeah.
still pretty
Okay.
good. And just seeing uh Agent Smith as the Red Skull. That was
Yeah,
my
that's true.
That's
Yes.
good. That was good.
Mr.
Fucking Hugo
Anderson.
Weaving.
Oh wait, Mr. Rogers. But I
Game
mean,
is the
that's our
best one.
takes. Go ahead and wrap it up, you guys. Like, we're gonna go ahead and just end it there, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, check out our YouTube channel. We have an official channel now. Please subscribe. Leave a comment below. If you're on Instagram, hit us up.
John,
It's
you know you're going to.
it's now just the Media Buff podcast. So you can DM us. I'll leave the link in the description. If you're on Spotify, like and follow. Like we mentioned earlier, this is our second to last episode. We just want to say thank you for those who have tuned in. John, thank you for being a very supportive fan. Thank you for
Well,
all
thanks
those
for having me.
comments.
Oh, fuck you, John.
Who's gonna comment on Spotify if I'm here?
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
Also check out their Spotify. It's actually pretty funny. It's called The Game Ecologist. I pressure them to call it this.
Wait, the what?
Game
Game
ecologist.
ecologist.
Like the gynecologist?
Yes.
I didn't want to.
I told them
I'm-
to.
I
That's
made it
my
up as a
fault.
joke. I didn't want the show to be like wrapped around in one vagina joke.
No,
Like,
shut up. They're not allowed to know the story. It's
I
there.
was kidding when I made it up. I was joking. They're like, yes, that one.
Either way, that's their that's the title of their show. I'll leave a link as well. But
And we'll
Yeah,
eventually release a second episode when Kyle gets his shit together.
yeah,
He is not the problem, and you know it. But anyway,
What the fuck is a Kyle?
it's their
No
third
idea.
member. But
Yes.
definitely thank you for tuning in all these times, folks. We've had this podcast for over 2 years now. So from
Shit.
from the bottom of our hearts, it started with just me, Matt, and Omar. Then we brought Lane on, and now my wife is here with us as well. And John, if you want to become a recurring guest, we're more than happy to have you again, except Matt. But if it
Yeah.
pisses him off, I'll definitely have you on more.
Actually, I
absolutely.
think- actually, well, I'm
Anything that
also,
pisses off Matt, right?
Anything that pisses him off.
well, I'm playing with an idea of where we have a crossover episode.
Your mom's a crossover episode.
Of both of these podcasts.
Well, we kind of already
This is that.
did.
This
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah,
This
but
is
we
that.
don't. We don't
You
have
guys are
Kyle.
both members and you're here.
We don't need Kyle.
That's
Damn,
your
Kyle, you hear
fault,
that?
Kyle.
Kyle, you hear that shit?
Zero
It's a
fucks.
privilege.
Fuck
Your couch.
Kyle.
Jeez.
Hey, don't
But-
tell him, but
Quick-
fuck Kyle.
Kyle's
Quick-
dead to
Yeah.
us.
quick tidbit, because I was helping them set up the podcast, and I
He's
was
not gonna
as
hear
I
this.
was doing author, I put both of their names, John and Matt's, but I put their full name, and then I put Kyle, and then in parentheses insert last name here, and they told me leave it.
I don't think he liked it.
He
I would have
didn't?
fucking died laughing.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
have
and
a sense of
I'd be
humor.
introducing myself. Hi, my name's Kyle. Insert last name here.
Yes.
My last name is insert here.
Hey, that's what your mom told me.
Good times.
That's what she said.
Oh man, good times. But all right, well, let's go. Just end it for sure, for reals this time. Again, thank you for tuning in, folks. Please, all that stuff we mentioned, and as always, tune in. Actually, next episode it will be our last one, so we're gonna take a break for the holidays,
Mhm.
and we will
You
come
will
back again
hear
next
from-
year.
Yeah,
What the fuck am I supposed to listen to?
I'm gonna
Mark.
probably put reboots,
No.
older episodes, or I'll do a couple of tangent talks that I have saved into there.
Mhm. There's
Or
Oh, nice.
you don't get to listen to anything until January because fuck you, John.
Damn.
You guys help me get through my
Anyways,
job.
It's back to we gotta say happy gobble gobble day.
Yeah. Happy holidays,
Yeah.
everyone. We'll
Yeah,
talk to you
happy
next
Thanksgiving.
year.
Indigenous Peoples Massacre Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
don't
my
be like
goodness.
that, Omar. God,
All right,
fucking
everybody.
social
Let's-
justice warrior over there.
Let's go ahead and just
No, I
end
just
it
don't like
there. Everybody say
celebrating
bye.
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 Bye, everybody. Get your shit and get out.
Have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Bye.
Mm. Choose violence today.
That was almost. How long was that?